Section 2. Eschatology in the Old Testament. Class 10. In this class, we will be looking into the following Old Testament scriptures: Micah 4 verses 1 to 4, Isaiah 2 verses 1 to 4, Habakkuk 3 verses 1 to 19, Zephaniah 1 verses 7 to 18, Zephaniah 2 verse 15, Zephaniah 3 verses 8 to 9, Zechariah 9 verses 14 to 17, Zechariah 10 verse 1, Zechariah 12 verses 1 to 14, Zechariah 13 verse 6. Now let's begin with Micah 4 verses 1 to 4 and Isaiah 2 verses 1 to 4. These scriptures speak of the millennial reign, where Jesus Christ will rule from the Jerusalem and there will be no more war. Habakkuk 3 verses 1 to 19. This chapter describes some parts of the second coming of Yahweh with respect to the fatal war of the nation of the earth as they attempt to fight against him and his troop. Zephaniah 1 verses 7 to 18. In these verses, we see the events of the second coming of Yahweh with respect to the distress that will befall the sons of men. In that day, the sons of men will think it far-fetched that there is a God who is sovereign to bless or to reward evil. Zephaniah 2 verses 15. This verse speaks of the judgment of the Jezebel nation as seen in the book of Revelations. Zephaniah 3 verses 8 to 9. Here, we see God's agenda for the decimation in the second coming of Yahweh. There will be a pure language for all to speak after the return. Wow. Zechariah 9 verses 14 to 17. Here, we see a series of events named, starting from the rapture to the second coming where he will save the nation of Israel from the destroying army. Zechariah 10 verse 1. Here, we see that it is our responsibility to ask for revival in the time of revival. No wonder we see that in the recent years God has been releasing the spirit of supplication. Zechariah 12 verses 1 to 14. Zechariah 13 verse 6. In the first 7 verses, we see that Jerusalem will increasingly become a cause of disagreement for the peoples of the earth and they will move to attempt to solve this challenge by their power. However, they will not be prevailing, as the Lord will be on their side. God specifies that he will save Judah first, thereby informing us that it is about him and not about David. The lineage of David being used was to the advantage of King David, so the Jews should remember their priorities. What a promise we see in verse 8: In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. The verse speaks of the strength of the sixth seal. Revival will happen in the days when God prepares the hearts of the nations to conspire against Israel, which we see taking place in our days. Hallelujah! There will be great mourning from the Jews that survived the great tribulation when they will see Jesus Christ and for the first time as a nation recognize that they not only missed the day of visitation, but they also were responsible for sending him to the cross. It will be a time of sore lamentation from every house and corner. Lord have mercy.